This week, it's Cycle to School Week, and thousands of children across our area of Essex and other counties will be getting involved flying the flag for active travel. And Bikeability Trust have carried out some research that's been looking at the barriers to children cycling. And joining me right now is the CEO from the Bikeability Trust, Emily Cherry, who's my guest in this part of Daytime. So, Emily, welcome to Gateway.
Oh, good morning. What a pleasure to speak to you, Aston. Thanks for having us on and talking all things cycling and bikeability.
So it's great to have you on today, Emily. It's a pleasure to have you on, and especially as well, we are highlighting Cycle to School Week as well, because your research here from the Bikeability Trust has found that the great stuff that children would rather cycle with their parents and also celebrities alongside it there, but they are fearful about this as well. But it's great. They want to learn to cycle here.
Yes, I think it's really important. You know, the majority of children really think it's important to be able to ride a bike, and that's why bikeability cycle training is so important to give them the confidence. But, you know, it's a third of them. So I think it was 37% of children are just too worried about cycling on the road because cars are too fast and they can feel it's too dangerous. Now, cycle training is really helpful to help you understand how to cycle on the road. But, you know, we're also putting out as part of Cycle to School Week, let's make sure we share the road space, and motorists, pedestrians and cyclists all supporting each other, so it makes it a much better environment to cycle in.
Exactly, because obviously when they have that fear for the roads as well, especially when it comes to busy roads, of course, they're on that. So obviously discounted motorways, but small roads, it has to be said, if they're cycling to school, because even the small roads can get busy. But then you've got to watch out for the drivers driving too fast as well. That's the other fear as well for children there.
It is, yeah. So cars coming too fast towards children and to adults as well. I'm a cyclist myself, so I know what it's like to feel like to have a close pass on a small road, and you've got lots of those in the Essex County. So it's really important that we share the road space and do that really well. But I love Cycle to School Week. It's my favourite week. You know, this is where thousands of children, parents and families, we're asking them to take a pledge for the week. So you might not be able to cycle every day to school, but you might be able to swap one car journey, or you could pledge to discover somewhere new with your family. And brilliantly, if you make a pledge this week on the Bikeability Trust website, you might win a frog bike, which is a fantastic cycle for you to end the week.
And especially as well, you got a strong message out there as well about active travel there, I see as well, Emily. Would you like to explain more about this?
Yeah, so when we talk about active travel, that's about forms of movement. So not getting in your car, but walking, cycling, scooting, wheeling. It might be even using a scooter or different ways. Traveling active is great for your health, for your mental health, and absolutely fantastic for the environment. And it's also great for your family wallet as well. I mean, we've done research that would say that swapping the car to cycling or walking to school will save the average family about £150 a year in petrol. You know, right now we're all feeling the cost of living. This is a great opportunity to really get active and get some money in your wallet as well. It really is the miracle cure for so many things. I mean, that's what we talk about. I mean, the Chief Medical Officer has put out more information, and I've seen Sport England have put out a video today. You know, children are not yet achieving the recommended level of fitness and physical activity every single week, according to the medical officer. So this is about your health and well-being for the future as well. What a great way to start your day by walking, cycling, scooting to school, and we'd really encourage you to do that. And, you know, Essex has done brilliantly with cycle training with Bikeability. You know, last year, more than 11,000 children in the county were trained by our fantastic team in Essex, and we'll do record numbers this year as well. So we'll give them the skills and the experience, but let's get our roads safer for children so they can really take up the opportunity. That's where our Bikeability top tips are absolutely brilliant, because what we teach you is so 4 things. So observation, communication, where you stay in the road, and knowing who has priorities. We'll give you all of those skills so you can see a pothole coming, you know how to avoid it, and you know how to look behind you, and the drivers behind you will know what you're going to do as well. So anyone can get confidence through our cycle training. So we asked children, who would you like to go cycling out with? And mum and dad topped the polls. So parents and carers, you topped the polls. Then siblings. So if they had brothers or sisters or siblings, they came next. Then we thought we'll go with pop royalty. Taylor Swift, Harry Styles. We all expected them to absolutely rump hole in the polls. No, they didn't. Bukayo Saka came top with 15%, but, you know, lagging behind mum and dad. So, you know, fantastic to see what a great role model for children Bukayo is. He topped our celebrity poll, but they'd still rather cycle with you, mum and dad. So let's get you all out together.
Well, parents, if you're listening, get out there cycling with your children, because that can help your child to actually counter their balance and their coordination as well there. But that also being said here, Emily, as well, obviously Bikeability Trust does a lot of things up and down the country as well, not just right here in Essex and other counties as well, but up and down the country, promoting cycling in all aspects, even if the weather's not great.
We do. We can teach you to cycle in the rain, in the cold, in the wind, all weathers. Are fantastic teams. So nationally, since 2007, we've trained 4.5 million children. That's absolutely phenomenal. And thousands of adults and families as well. We train about 500,000 children a year now. And we're delivering for the government because this is funded by by Active Travel England and the Department for Transport. So by 2025, we're on to train every child on the road cycle training. So our level 2 course by the end of primary school. So that's a huge expansion in the next 18 months. And we do need instructors. So if any of you are listening and thinking, I'd be interested, and we're desperate for new instructors, and we've got training bursaries for you to help train as an instructor and come and work with us.
So tips and advice for our listeners here, Emily. Do you have any for our listeners here, especially for parents out there listening today?
Yeah, so do you know what? One of my favourite phone calls into the office was actually from a 9-year-old child who did her level 2, which is out on the course. And then her dad phoned up and said, why are Bikeability teaching you that? And it was about road positioning. This is a bit of a myth, particularly when you're a car driver. So you might feel as a cyclist, it's the best thing to do is cycle as close to the gutter as you possibly can. But that's where all the all the grit can often be where potholes and things are. So positioning is my number one tip for people. So confident position, 60 centimetres out from the gutter. If you want to control the traffic, to really be seen, to really help that slow down, then the middle of the lane. And that's absolutely legal and compliant with the highway code. So that's my top tip for you, is your road positioning.
So, Emily, if our listeners want to find out all the information about what we've been discussing, and also want to find out all the courses that Bikeability Trust are running, and also want to find further tips and advice from Bikeability Trust, anywhere our listeners can find out all the information?
Yeah, so definitely either head to our social channels at Bikeability UK or pop onto the website, so bikeability.org.uk. There's a find a course tool finder. You can pop in your postcode and that will come up with all of the different courses running in your area. And that's both for adults and for children as well.
So, Emily Cherry there, CEO from the Bikeability Trust. Thank you for joining me on Gateway 97.8 today to highlight Cycle to School Week, and also remind our listeners on how they could actually make sure that they get their child cycling as part of Cycle to School Week and beyond as well.